How's everybody doing? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Sorry. Okay, perfect. All right, I can see that we're streaming in the background, which is what we wanted. So that means that we're live for anybody who's not aware. We're waiting for everybody still. Nyla's still trying to hop on here. Um, Miranda should be joining us shortly as well. And the number that we're looking for quorum is 5.
Excluding yourself, Allie?
Yeah, excluding myself always.
Sean, I don't know why I didn't put two and two together, but my daughter was the one that cut Megan Parlow's hair at the event. The cut for the shoot for the cure event at the university. And yeah, I've known your sister Debbie for forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she cut her hair for that event too. I just thought it was beautiful and I went, oh my gosh, never put two and two together.
Yeah, that's my sister. Yeah, she's awesome.
She is. I adore her.
Sorry about the wait. I'm just gonna mute myself here.
While we're just killing time, I unfortunately I will have to duck out at 12:30. I did say I was available for this hour, and then simultaneously, a student used my automatic calendar to book an appointment at 12:30, and it's sort of a big deal, so I can't miss it. But otherwise, I just reschedule. But I won't do it again.
That happens. It looks like we have a follow-up meeting at on Wednesday, so or Thursday.
Yes, and at this time, I think that we're also looking for a meeting time for next week as well, based on our heavy agenda today and knowing how these ACAP conversations typically tend to go. We are waiting for one more person to join. I think that Nyla's on her way. Thanks everybody for your patience. Still waiting for Nyla to join. She's having some issues with Zoom. And there she is.
It looks like she's joined from my end now. I'm not sure if she has audio video yet though.
Hi, sorry about that. I had to update my Zoom, but I am here now.
Thank you for joining us. I guess we'll get started if that's okay with everybody. So we do have quorum now. Yes, we do. Okay. So I'd like to start today with our land acknowledgement, please. I acknowledge with respect that we are in Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land on which we're gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Gwaning. Gwaning is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. If it's okay right now, I'd like to go over, ask Sean for some assistance in as we look at our agenda, and we're looking to item 2.1 as we welcome new members and elect a new chair and vice chair to today's committee.
Hi, folks. I'm the outgoing chair from last session, and I think I indicated publicly last December that I won't be standing for chair again. So I think Alicia is asking me to step in and oversee this process just because it's sort of new in the wheelhouse of the new position. So first of all, just wanted to welcome everybody. It's great to see at least one new face. Welcome, Dustin. And great to see some returning faces as well. I hope everyone's had a great start to their new year. We will start with the election of the chair and vice chair. That has to be done each year. The first part of that is a call for nominations. So we'll start with a call for nominations for chair. Actually, I'll throw it out there. I don't know if it's normal for somebody to chair and make a nomination, but I'd like to nominate Donna Hilsinger for chair of the committee. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
I don't
Is there a
believe so.
What's that?
I said I don't believe so.
Is there a seconder for the nomination?
I'd second that.
Thanks, Lee. Donna, do you accept your nomination?
I do, Sean. Thank you.
And with there being no further nominations, the position is acclaimed. Now, is there a nomination for vice chair of the committee? So for everybody's information, the position of vice chair, typically they step in the absence of the chair of the committee. Actually, since you're the chair of the committee now, Donna, I could just hand this over to you. Take it away.
Thank you, Sean. So just to further what you were saying, the role of the vice chair is to be there in the case that the chair is unavailable to chair a meeting. I believe did I cover everything, Sean? That's pretty much it, right? I mean, it's a big, and certainly to support the committee. Are we allowed to nominate? I'll ask Alicia this. Are we allowed to nominate someone who's not here?
I believe so. Someone has reached out and expressed interest in seeking nomination for chair and or vice chair. So I'd be able to bring that name forward, but I need somebody to move it, I believe, to make this official.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to okay, so somebody does not have to physically be here in order for them for us to nominate them. And before we go next, if you don't mind, Alicia, because we have new members here, could you please remind us who is not here today?
Of course. So today we have returning members, Miranda Bouchard. We have Councillor Sunny Spina. Just going to say that Vanessa Ferlino, a new member. And I think that's everybody today.
That is not here.
Not here.
Okay. All right. So are there any nominations for vice chair? Sean?
I don't actually have a nomination, but I do think I have what might be a point of clarification, is just that we can nominate anybody who's a member, even if they're not here, but we need confirmation of their willingness to accept the nomination.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's see where this goes then, if we could. All right. So calling for nominations for the position of vice chair.
Okay, and expressed through written correspondence, Vanessa Ferlino would like to be considered for the position of vice chair.
Okay. And are there any other nominations for vice chair? I would like to nominate Nyla Moss. It's Moss, right? I wanted to call you a different Nyla. I would like to nominate Nyla. So are there any other nominations for vice chair?
I would second
Seeing-
Nyla's nomination.
Oh, thank you very much, Lee. Thank you, Dustin. Okay, so I believe now I have to, okay, I see Sean is using his emojis with intensity. So now going to Vanessa Ferlino's, putting her name forward for vice chair. Is there anyone to second that nomination? Okay, seeing none. Nyla, do you accept the nomination for vice chair of the Cultural Vitality Committee?
I do. I will probably be asking some questions of Donna and Sean in the next coming days, but yes, I will accept. Thank you so much.
Okay. And so all in favor of approval of Nyla as the vice chair for the committee? Yeah, okay. Excellent. Thank you, Nyla, for accepting that. I think it'll be wonderful to have you in that role.
Now,
All
I'm not
right.
sure if I need to read this out loud. So resolved that Nyla Moss was declared the vice chair of the Cultural Vitality Committee for 2025.
All
There it
in
is.
favor?
Great.
For formality, I
Thank you.
see that is carried. Okay. Thank you. Alicia, is a copy of the agenda on our meeting invitation?
It is in the email that was sent on Friday afternoon. My
The
apologies.
email.
If you'd like to pull it from the website itself, SaultStMarie.ca, and then under the corporate calendar on the main page, and our meeting is the first one there. And thank you, John, for providing that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I added it to the group chat if
Oh, thank you, Sean.
no problem.
Thank you for being incredibly helpful.
You're much more efficient at, here we go. Excellent. All right. So mine is just opening up here, and we're moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is, wow, these agendas get bigger and bigger all the time, 645 pages. Adoption of the minutes of our last meeting. Now, I guess we have, well, I'm not sure who was at the last meeting, but we should be able to adopt those minutes, right? The only new person we have here is Dustin, correct? So
Yeah.
could I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of our last meeting? Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Sean. All right. Any additions, deletions, changes? Seeing
One,
none.
oh, I'm sorry. One
It's okay.
addition, Under new business, sorry, under item 8 correspondence. Brenna Tomas resignation from the Cultural Vitality Committee, please.
We're adding that. Okay,
Yes, please.
thank you.
Oh, sorry,
Thank
just to clarify, I think that's, Alicia, I think you mean to add that to today's agenda, not the minutes from.
Why, forgive
yes,
me, thank
actually.
you. That's what I want, yes.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I'm sitting beside another computer here and I'm trying to pull up, can somebody just give me 2 seconds to do this? I'm just trying to pull this up, the agenda on a separate screen here. It'll be easier for me. And I can't type.
While we're sitting here, I
Thank
hate
you.
to throw it over to Dustin, but would you like to give just introduce yourself quickly?
Hi, everybody. I'm Dustin Goodall. I am a recording engineer and producer and musician and studio owner. And this culture in Sault Ste. Marie is something I'm very passionate about. And I see myself joining this as hopefully being in a position of being able to advocate for artists. So I'm very much looking forward to participating, and thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Dustin. It will be wonderful. Hopefully maybe perhaps not this week, but hopefully at one of our upcoming next meetings, we'll all get in the same room together, so that we can actually look each other in the eyes and get, because I don't know you, Dustin, and I'm not sure I know of you, I will say, but be great to meet everyone in person.
Yeah, that
all
would
right,
be
so-
great.
Okay. All right. So I believe it was Lee and Sean to move and second the adoption of the minutes of our previous meeting, which was on November 24th. So any no changes, additions, deletions, seeing none, all in favor of the approval of those minutes, that is carried. Okay, so we don't have anyone else to welcome and introduce today. We can do that at the next meeting. So the only 2 new people we have joining the group is Vanessa and Councillor Spina, correct? And Miranda's been part of the committee before. Okay, so moving along here, I'm scrolling down. Do we have to, I'm noticing on the agenda, we're not adopting the agenda until after we talk about the graffiti committee and the cultural forum.
We are a bit
May
out
I?
of order. We are a bit out of order
Okay.
today. Thank you for noticing.
Okay, I'm gonna then move from where we just were, because we did the election of officers. So I'm gonna move down to adoption of today's agenda. So could I have someone to move and second adoption of today's agenda? Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Nyla. Wonderful. Any additions? We know with regards to Brenna to add that to the agenda. Any other additions to today's agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of approval of the agenda for today's meeting. Just for the, I'm noticing here.
I'm seeing a mistake as well. My apologies.
It's okay. Okay,
so
just the date. It says
Yeah.
December 10th, but yeah, and you'll fix that. So it's
I will.
whatever it is. February 3rd. My God, we're already a month into a new year. Okay, let's go back up here now. So the graffiti committee, Alicia, can you share with us, do we need to appoint people to that? Is that something new? What can you?
That's certainly voluntary. And so I was gonna say that earlier this year, or rather at the end of last year, nearing the end of last year, City Council reformed the graffiti committee. We're looking for 2 members, 2 representatives from the Cultural Vitality Committee to sit in as members. I believe that most of this committee were in person when we discussed it at a meeting back in October. And I've filled Dustin in at the moment and let Vanessa know of the opportunity as well. But I'm just putting it on here today for conversation's sake, in case anybody would like to declare themselves as being part of that committee.
So is anyone here, can you share for Dustin's knowledge, although you did say that you updated him. So this is a couple of people from our committee to work with other members of the graffiti committee from the city of Sault Ste. Marie to manage graffiti in the community. I feel like I've used the wrong term there, but
Okay, so I would say manage, help provide strategy, prevent, educate the public. There's a number of different initiatives that this committee will be reviewing in the coming months. At this time, it's made up of, I'd say, stakeholders as part of this, committee members rather, are stakeholders in the community. And I was gonna say offhand, I don't have the exact name, so they would name by position in different, across different organizations, we'll say. So I think that PUC was put on there, as well as the Downtown Association and others across the community.
okay. Anyone here today interested in sitting on that committee? Seeing none, I will do that. I will be one of the two people. Alicia, you can put that in the notes. And when we come back to our meeting on Thursday, we will see if we have other people here who aren't in attendance today who might be interested.
Thank you, Donna. Noted.
You're welcome. Okay. Moving on to the item 2.3, the cultural forum. Could you give us the information about that, please, Alicia?
We're moving ahead with the cultural forum. We plan to have it at the Ermitinger Clerk National Historic Site Discovery Center Theater on Wednesday, February 26th. I believe the time is from 6 to 8 p.m. It would be great if anybody were available to come and attend. Save the dates have been distributed across the community at this point, but we'll be following up with direct requests to contacts and arts and culture contacts later this week. It's an open event. RSVPs are encouraged and appreciated, certainly, but not required. So if somebody's available to come last minute, please do come. At this time, we're looking to meet together in person to give an update about the Arts and Culture Assistance Program, to talk about upcoming information sessions, changes that we might be seeing to the funding, and positive changes, and ultimately an opportunity for people to share their planning calendars as well, and to communicate directly to us how they'd like to be communicated to in the future as well. And so I see this coming out a couple of different ways, but ultimately I'm very excited. And if anybody who's from this committee who would like to be there is very, very welcome to attend and to be there.
Okay.
I believe I sent my RSVP
You did.
for this. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I believe the next item on the agenda, and I would suggest, I know Sean has to go at 12:30. So we would still have quorum. I'm just wondering, with regards to the next items on our agenda, are to actually review the applications for the Arts and Cultural Assistance Committee. That's correct, Alicia?
Yes, and for our purposes of today, before we get into that, just as a quick update to the committee, so we have received an increase for the Arts and Culture Assistance Program. The new number that we'll be working with is $170,000 annually. That's been updated in the ACAP guidelines, which are available to stemarie.ca/ACAP. And so that leaves us about $85,000 per intake, as determined at a 50-50 split. So that's what so before we start talking about the the actual business, I want to be clear that there are more funds available at this intake than in years previous, and there have been some other changes to how outside agencies will be receiving their funding, but more information to follow on that as it develops.
Okay. I, for one, am absolutely beyond the moon. I won't react like I might in other ways, or if I was in person, I'd be jumping up and down and getting excited and saying yay, yay, yay. Thank you to those who put forward these ideas in the budget, and thank you to the city and its leadership for seeing the value in arts and culture and helping to make our job a little bit easier by making more money available for the city to invest, and therefore for the residents and visitors and so on to enjoy what the opportunity is there. I've long said that arts and culture is it's very important to our residents and our youth and our families and all of our people, but it's also a very big part of our economy, both internally within the city and the people who live here, but also externally and people relocating here and driving visitation and so on. So it feels really good to see that new investment. Yay. I'm going to correct what I said earlier and just looking for clarification here, Alicia. When we lose Sean at 12:30, we will not have quorum anymore. Is that right? You said quorum was 5 now?
Yes, that's accurate. So when Sean is gone, so are the rest of us.
Okay.
And I was going to say that if we have any time while we're here, if you don't mind, Sean, give a quick second to maybe go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
Sure, I was just going to offer before I leave to give you a rundown of where we were at our November meeting.
That's perfect. Thank you.
I would appreciate that.
No problem. I'll share my screen because I have the Excel sheet handy. So basically where we had landed, we did some changes we agreed on some changes to the process just to streamline the discussion. First of all, starting with the scoring, making sure that was all in, and then we set a threshold of 11 out of 15. And so anyone that didn't meet that threshold or that was excluded for other eligibility reasons is highlighted in green. We started talking based on the clusters of the different streams. So we had some conversation about the small projects grant stream. And so in terms of the change of process, it was basically to get everybody's scores and then say, here's where everybody stands based on the scoring. Does anything stand out? Are there particular applications that people want to discuss rather than discussing every single one? So that was the modification to the process last time. I've reordered applications based on their scoring within their respective stream. So you can see these are ordered in their average score. And same goes for the ones that are below here as well. You can see that I also provided a summary here that I've shared with Alicia that gives you a rough count for where things are at now based on if we were to assign the amount of funding proportional to each applicant's score. These are the totals for each of the areas. So it'd be about a little over 14,000 for small projects, 2,500 for the community events grants, 18,000 for cultural diversity, 57,000 in operating, 35,000 large projects, and 18,600 in the multi-stream applicants. And that gets you a total of 146,765 and 42 cents. So we're still a ways away from that 85,000 figure, but a lot easier to meet than, what was it, 72,000? So still some work to do here, but this is where we landed last.
Okay, thank you for that. Alicia, will you or will Sean share that spreadsheet with me so that when we come back together on Thursday, I believe, we will be able to get right into that following what I didn't do off of today's agenda because we didn't really get there yet, but we would be at this point as the pecuniary interest declaration. So we have not had any conversations about actually, I'm going to just do that quickly, just to be on the safe side.
I can provide them to you if you'd like.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying in general for today's meeting, we didn't ask for declarations. I did not ask for declaration for pecuniary interest. I don't believe that there was anything earlier in our agenda that would fall under that category. However, does anyone have to declare outside of dealing with the arts and culture grant applications, because we're not going to talk about those today now. Does anyone have any pecuniary interest declarations on anything outside of that in the agenda? Okay, Dustin.
So I'm not sure if this is specifically what you mean, but at least two of these applications would be applications asking for funds for my services. And
Oh.
I think that that's what you mean.
Yes, coming when we deal with this on Thursday. So if you are pecuniary interest is if you stand to gain either positively or negatively, then and there is no one can tell you that you have one or you don't have one. It's the way the rules work. So you have to decide yourself. But you don't have to declare that now until we meet on Thursday. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Understood.
And I'll
Yep.
be happy to record that and make sure it's in the notes, so no worries.
Okay. Well, I think now that we've lost Sean, we can no longer have any discussion. So we are going to can I call for adjournment of the meeting? I need a mover and a seconder. Thank you, Nyla. Thank you, Lee, and all in favor. And meeting is adjourned. We'll see you all on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you very much.